to him. I'm sure he'll be back in. What's happening, YouTube? Sorry, we are 10 minutes late. We had a little snafu. Sometimes you have those technological snafus, but we're in the building for you. B. Avery is going to be with us in a minute. But right now, you got the original members of the Life Gains Current Culture. Me, that living legend, Larry. Yes, people, he is a living legend. You have to cherish his ass with his Black Love Matters shirt. How you doing, my brother?
I'm feeling that black love today, man. Feeling that black love. You know?
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, I promoted that we would talk about this brother right here, but we might move that till Friday night. Yes, we're gonna get to Derek Jack's jacking off ass, and I ain't talking about in his hand. We're gonna get to Derek Jack, but we're gonna probably save him for Friday because this is our short show, so that people can get a chance to go and watch SnowFall. So, like I said, in a second, B. Avery is going to join us to give us his opinions on the Snyder Cut, and we've got the Snyder Cut review. We've got news about Snyder Cut 2. We've got a Marvel release dates for this coming year, and we've also got some more DCU news. So we're going to dive into all that, but we're going to start this thing out with the end video, the last video you saw on the Snyder Cut right here.
How many alternate timelines do you destroy the world? Because, frankly, you don't have the cojones to die yourself.
Where are we holding up?
Somewhere I'll never suspect.
Justice League Snyder Cut, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's fair to say we did enjoy it. I'm still not ready to take that leap of faith and say it's better than Marvel, but damn it, it was a whole lot better than what they gave us in theaters. And my brother Larry, I'm gonna let you jump on it first. Thoughts on the Snyder Cut Justice League? And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Just my opinions, Brandon Avery.
Hello, hello, hello.
B. Avery in the building, the man with the magic mic.
Right.
I'll say that it was definitely better than the Joss Whedon version, and there's no way that it's better than Marvel. I mean, people who were saying that, they're just straight DC fanboys, and I think that's just what it is. There in no way, shape, or form was it better than Marvel, but it was good. It was too long, I think. 4 hours, I think, was too long. I would have willingly accepted 4 hours had they given us some new scenes. Like if they had shot new scenes and given us new scenes instead of just sort of extended scenes. I just feel like the stuff that they extended out just wasn't wholly necessary, you know?
Okay.
But it was still good. I mean, this movie could have been 3 hours and I would have been happy, you know?
Okay. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that. And before I get to B. Avery, who has a great take on it, shouts out to my homie family dad coming through with the big super chat. Been rocking with you since Cody Lamont. Damn. So B. Avery, if you know what Cody is, don't you, B. Avery?
Cody, is that you talking about that platform?
Man. Back in the day when we used to have Cody and the free sports links cracking.
I mean, man, this brother has been with me since Cody, and that was in 2015. He's been rocking with me since then. And I'm so happy he's sticking with us as we continue to change and expand our content. I appreciate that, my brother. Now, B. Avery, let the people know how you felt about the Justice League Snyder Cut.
Well, I went in with high expectations, given all of the news that was coming out about it, you know, the length and with it being rated R. I was saying to myself, you know what? I didn't hate the 2017 one. This one right here, I can't imagine it being any worse. And it wasn't. It actually met my expectations. I won't say it exceeded them, but it actually met my expectations. So by the end of the movie, I was very satisfied.
Okay.
Even though I was really pissed off with the way that BVS turned out, I was very happy with the way this turned out. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It still didn't need to be 4 hours. You know, I think the sweet spot could have been around 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Right.
You know, there are definitely some things that could have been cut out. And you know, if you want to go over it, we can. Okay. But this was I was you was talking about better than Marvel or Avengers. I won't go that far, but I will say, and it's not better than Infinity War. But as far as the ending battle between the Justice League versus Darkseid, I was more fulfilled with the final showdown in this than I was with the final showdown in Endgame. I just felt I got a bigger payoff with all the characters involved.
Okay.
Now, Endgame was a bigger, broader, had much wider scope. But you know, and it was a harder thing to do because it was so many characters. But I still feel like I still walked out of the Snyder Cut happier. And you know, I wish Zack Snyder could continue, but it doesn't look like they're going to be going that way.
No, man.
He's done. He's done with DC, huh?
Yeah. And we'll get into the nuts and bolts of that on the next subject. I want to. For the people, our crowd here on my channel didn't get a review from me because I couldn't get it in my schedule. So I'm going to break it down. So we're all in agreement that this thing could have been shorter, for sure. Okay, we're all in agreement. This was definitely better than the first one. Okay, but this is where we part ways. B. Avery loved that battle scene at the end versus Steppenwolf where they showed Darkseid. He liked that better than he did the MCU's final battle, which I don't agree with him on that one. But I think, is it safe to say that one of our most favorite battles was when Darkseid came to planet Earth and he had to take on Themyscira, he had to take on the Green Lanterns, he had to take on Zeus and the God of War. Can we agree that that was one of the dopest parts of this movie? Larry, I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible. That was fantastic. I mean, it was really a fun scene to watch. And I would have liked to have more of that. You know, if they were going to go 4 hours, give us more of that.
Yeah. So, B. Avery, how did you like that scene?
I 100% agree with both of you. This was one of the dopest parts of the movie. If it wasn't the best, it was the second best. But you know, I can lean towards the best. It was dope as hell. And like Larry just said, I wanted more of this. I mean, I remember watching it and for the first time, and I was like, oh, you know, this is where, you know, Batman and Diana is talking, but they in the lab now. They was on the lake the first time.
Right.
I was finna break it down. Then as soon as they show Ares, Artemis, and Hades, not Hades, but
Zeus.
Zeus. I sat up on the couch like, oh shit, it's about to go down. I was, you know, it was a boom, and then he walking up and he hands his axe like, hold my axe. Let me put on my helmet, you know. And I was like, oh man. And bro, when I noticed, I don't know if you noticed how big the gods were compared to the rest of the man.
I noticed that. I
didn't realize that at first. I realized that after the fact, and then just showing how swole Zeus was, you know, showing him with the lightning. Man, it was amazing. I was up here talking about how do again, and you know, as he was, you know, I'm serious, man. I was geeking out, man. I loved it. It was.
I love that too, man.
I can take 4 hours of that easy.
We could have. That was definitely, I guess, the highlight.
I don't think I could have done 4 hours of that, man. I needed a breath. I needed to breathe a little bit. I think I held my breath through that whole scene. It was so good, man.
It was excellent, man.
And it was so good that it took like 4 to 5 gods for them to tag team Darkseid.
Yeah.
You know? Because you had the Green Lantern attack first that died, and then you had Artemis that shot him in the chest twice with the arrows, and then King Atlan came with his little Porsar blast, and then you got Zeus right here blasting him, and then Ares come at the end with the axe right there with the blow. And so that just show and Darkseid not even full power right here. So that just shows how badass he is.
But here's I'm not even going to go into theories and expand on the universe because we're not going to get it. So I'm not even going to go there because I want to expand on it, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to just stick to the subject, which was this movie. It was good. Everything that they set up could have been good if Zack Snyder would have had decided to stay. Now, I think we all are in agreement that another great part that they should have put in the first movie was the dynamic of this man right here, Cyborg, Ray Fisher's character. I mean, everything that they did with him with his parents, they gave you backstory on both of his parents. You got backstory on his mother. And you got to understand the relationship he had with his mom that kind of kept him and his dad together. And then you got to hear his dad talk about just how powerful of a character he is, that at the blink of an eye, he controls every electrical computing system on the planet, including the world's supply of nukes. B. Avery, I'm going to go to you first. Would that have made the first movie a whole lot better?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Cyborg easily was my favorite character out of this movie. Cyborg was my favorite. Darkseid, well, I don't know, man. It's probably a tie between Darkseid and Cyborg. They were both badass in this. But it was perfect, man. Like I said, and when I talked about it, just them showing his little story, the score in the background, it was just like a beautiful symphony orchestra.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love the way that they showed him go up on the roof and showing how his jets on his suit worked.
Oh,
how it was like 360 degrees of flight control. And this scene right here is just beautiful visual representation of how easy controlling everything is. I mean, like his dad said, you are when it comes to the ones and zeros, you are the absolute master. I loved it, man. It was perfect. It was if I was Ray Fisher, I'd be mad too if they cut all of my stuff out the movie. It don't make no sense.
He had a right to be mad, man. I mean, like literally, he was your leading man. In all honesty, when you put all that stuff in there, and I'm gonna go to you next, Larry. But first, let me shout out Big Buzz. I appreciate my brother. Anytime there's a $7 super chat, I know where it's coming from. I know somebody's zip code. I know where it's coming from. Excuse me, area code. I know where it's coming from. But Larry, why did they not want to put Ray Fisher's story in there? Do you feel like they was trying to push somebody else's narrative? Because I mean, his whole story, Larry, could have almost been a movie by itself. I mean, they really put this brother up there. Why'd they take his story out?
Yeah, there's always that whole, even though people don't want to acknowledge it, there's always that whole racial element and sexist element within the comic book world. And where you have these young guys that love comics, but a lot of them are young white dudes, and they are now older, getting to be middle-aged and older white dudes that are very oftentimes racist and sexist, and they don't want to see a powerful character that's black, and they don't want to see a powerful character that's a woman. And so, to bring someone like that to the forefront just sort of poo-poos all their ideas of their white male superiority. And so, that's really just kind of what it is. And so, I think they tolerate some of the female characters because they're dressed sexy. You see Wonder Woman and they like looking at her, and she's powered up and she's a god killer. And so, but that's why they deal with her. But now if all of a sudden Wonder Woman was like beating everybody and was the strongest person in the world, in the universe, they'd probably have an issue with it.
Wait a minute, Larry. You're not saying they would treat her like Captain Marvel, are you?
Now, here's the thing with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel's character is very, very cool. I love the Captain Marvel character. I did not like that movie.
What?
I thought the Captain Marvel movie was probably the weakest out of the whole MCU bunch so far.
The weakest?
I thought it was the weakest. I love the character of Captain Marvel, and I like the story of where they could go with it, with the Skrulls and the Kree and all that. But I just didn't like the movie. It just didn't it was missing something. Like I like this, like when they brought Captain Marvel into to Endgame, and they had all the women working together. You had Captain Marvel and Okoye and who else was there? It was like there was like 5 altogether, right?
You had Scarlet Witch,
right?
You had all of them.
But that was a fantastic scene. I know there was talk about doing a movie with just like the women of that, and it's fine. I don't know if it's something that has to do with, because I know it was I can't remember the woman's name who directed Captain Marvel, and I don't know if it's just something about the styling that women do with movies versus the way men direct them, and maybe I just need to adjust my ideas, my thinking, and my feelings so that I can more accept how their direction. But I don't know. I didn't like it that much. It was the weakest of the bunch.
Okay.
And
you like Iron Man 2 and 3 more than this one?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. Wait a minute. Did you like the very first Captain America more than Captain Marvel?
I actually liked the first Captain America.
I didn't.
The first Captain America was dope. The first Captain America,
I thought it was fantastic.
I ain't like that.
I really love the special effects in there too. The way they took Steve Rogers from being that scrawny little kid into like the super soldier. I mean, that was the special effects in that movie were absolutely incredible.
I do agree with that, but it was that one didn't do it for me. I enjoyed Captain. When it could be that I'm biased toward Brie Larson. We have a connection, so to speak. But I mean, it is what it is. Mike Willie,
here's the other thing. Brie Larson,
my brother.
I like Brie Larson, but I didn't feel her as a superhero per se.
Really?
She seemed very I don't know. She just seemed sort of blah. And I've I think it was maybe it was the way they wrote her character. Maybe it was the way they directed her. I feel like maybe they needed to turn the volume up on her. Like she had some little sort of like funny, snarky things that she would say often, like they do in Marvel, which I think is fun and fine. But I feel like either they needed to turn up that funny and really make her sort of like a more comical character, or they needed to make her more aggressive and more in just something. They needed to turn the volume up on her character. I felt like she was sort of just blah.
So to get back on mission, you feel that way about her in the way I feel that way about this dude right here. He, for me, was the weakest storyline in this movie. B. Avery, expand on whether I'm right or wrong. Aquaman's storyline in this movie and his acting.
I don't have a problem with his acting, but everything else I agree with you 100%. He was the weakest link to me. I was very disappointed. The only thing I liked, in addition to what I did like about it, was the extended scene in the beginning where Batman is trying to recruit him. You know, we got a few extra lines of dialogue, and that was cool. But right after that, when the ladies were singing, I really could have done without that. That was horrible. That was horrible. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't find that compelling. I wasn't offended by it. I didn't know if it was some sort of like old Norwegian folk song or something. I didn't know if it was some cultural thing. I just, whatever.
I was annoyed as hell. As hell. And there was also some contradictions with this character, because they showed a shot of him going down and looking at the dead body or the skeleton of King Atlan with the trident.
Yes.
But in the movie, that was in like a different dimension, not like a different realm. Like you had to go through the portal. Like you couldn't just go there. So that was kind of inconsistent.
He had to go through the trench. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
And Volko looked like an addict in the movie.
He did. His hair looked ratty as shit.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, you can tell that they weren't just too clear on how to design how to design the Atlanteans, because it was just a completely different take from the movie. So I didn't like Aquaman. I mean, when he got with the rest of the Justice League, it was cool. Right. But in between there, no.
You know what? There was one scene in here that, and I don't recall seeing it in the original in the original Justice League. So maybe it wasn't in there, or maybe I just missed it. But the scene with Mira when she was fighting Steppenwolf, and she has the ability to extract liquid out of water, out of anything. And she was extracting the water out of his body, and you can see it start to come out of him, and then you start to see the blood coming out of him, and then he knocks her off to the side. But I didn't realize, I don't remember seeing that in the original movie. I was like, that was dope.
Well,
since
you brought him up,
our bodies are water, and I'm assuming that it was the same for him, but she was just straight sucking it out of him. So
Larry, since you brought it up, talk about Steppenwolf. How did you feel about him in this version of the Snyder Cut?
Before we go on there, I just want to mention one thing about Aquaman. I really think that, I like Aquaman's character. I've been an Aquaman fan for my entire life, but I really believe that because Jason Momoa is such a handsome man, by all objective standards, they relied too heavily on his looks. I feel like it was just a constant opportunity for them to show him taking his shirt off or it was very, they did very much the whole beefcake cheesecake thing with him. Instead of developing his character, they just played on his looks. And that got to be annoying because to me, not only was I annoyed just having to watch that constantly, but I was like, you really diminished the character and you diminished the actor in a lot of ways. You didn't really allow him to show his talent. You just allowed him to be pretty.
Well, I mean, Larry, this is the leader of the Dothraki from Game of Thrones. I mean, what more do you expect? I mean, I just felt like I felt like they was forcing too much with him that wasn't funny. His jokes wasn't landing. It felt like they was trying too hard to make him cool. And I was out with it, man. I was just like, sometimes I just wanted him to shut up. For real.
And they don't need to try and make him cool. I mean, the dude already has a natural cool vibe to him. Just let him be him.
Yeah.
And
I mean, so we did get a little bit more backstory on the Flash. I love that scene where he went out there and saved the young African-American lady, which that is part of his storyline for you nitwits out there, you racists that be getting in these fucking comment sections. He never had a black girlfriend. I was like, are you guys watching the CW? Did you watch the CW? You would know better. And so
he marries her.
Larry,
forget a black girlfriend, he has a black wife. The Flash was my favorite character in this cut. Okay. Because they turned up his powers and really let us see what he can do. And it left me with the one question that I guess we won't see. Like at the end of the Joss Whedon cut, they had the whole thing where Flash and Superman were going to have that race to see who was the fastest. And I forgot. I think whoever won had to get brunch or some craziness. I don't know. But
that was in the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was in the first one. But having watched this one, you realize they can never have that race because both of them can go fast enough to turn back time. And so if they did it, you would just end up going back and you would just end up turning the clock back. You would end up literally back where they started again. They can never have that race. So I mean, the way they powered him up in this movie, that scene no longer made any sense.
Okay. B. Avery, thoughts on the Flash?
I liked him a lot. He was up there with some of my favorite. I like the fact, the time thing was a bit weird to me, and I don't like the way he runs still. But I think I think he'll upgrade some way, shape, or form. I think
like he's swimming.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the scene with him at the end where he was like, "Hold up," and that looks like the Flash from the dreams, the nightmare sequence.
It is.
Okay. But when he went faster than time, that was a cool ass scene right there.
That was so dope. Yeah, that was dope, man. Did you like the way they portrayed this character, B. Avery? Did you like the substance they gave him in this story? Did you like his comic relief?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I didn't buy. One thing that I missed from the Joss Whedon cut in 2017 was right before they was going into battle for the first time against Steppenwolf and the Parademons. He looked nervous, like, oh man, I've never been in battle before, you know, and that made sense to me and fleshed out his character. Because I mean, that just makes sense. I mean, he's just a normal guy that knows how to run fast by accident, but now he's gonna fight alien invaders, you know. I mean, that made sense to me. So I kind of missed that. But yeah, overall, I really liked him.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, he was the one, like, you know, like Lamar was saying, they kept trying to make Aquaman funny, and I felt like the Flash was the one that really had the good comedic timing. You know, his jokes were on point. They were appropriate for his character type. You know, he was sort of silly and goofy and starstruck at some, you know, in some ways, and like one of the things I know it was in the original too, but one of the scenes that was funny to me was when what's his name? Chief. What's the chief? The police chief's name? And Gotham.
Lieutenant Gordon.
Yeah, Lieutenant Gordon. Sorry. He's Chief Gordon in this, isn't he?
I don't know.
Anyways, Lieutenant Gordon. I know he was a lieutenant at one point. So anyway, let's say with Lieutenant Gordon. So he's up there, and all the rest of them take off, and the Flash is still there, and he's like, "Oh, they really just disappeared like that. They're just gone." You know, to me, I thought that was just hilarious, and that's so appropriate for who his character is.
I enjoyed every part of that. And now, fellas, I'm gonna speed us along a little bit so that we can have some time to just wrap it up on some of these other subjects. I do want to cover one thing at the very end, and I want to get you guys' opinion on the Snyder Cut. So overall, you know, I've rated it an 8.5. B. Avery, what would you have given the movie?
9.
Larry, what'd you give it? Yeah, I would give it I would probably give it the same. I'd probably give it an 8.5. Okay. I would have given it a 9 if it was shorter. It wasn't gonna be a 10, because I really truly believe in order for that movie to have gotten a 10, I needed to not have Steppenwolf fight that major battle. It needed to be Darkseid that came down and fought the last big boss battle. And because we didn't get that, it wasn't going to be a 10. It was going to be a 9. But if it was probably 30, 45 minutes shorter, I probably would have given it a 9.
Okay.
I would have actually preferred to be an hour shorter, but
I want to get you guys' opinion on Martian Manhunter and this exchange with Batman. B. Avery, how did you feel about it? Do you felt like it was appropriate? Do you wish they would have put it in the original?
It was completely useless.
Exactly. Thank you. See, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this is why I hang around real G's, I don't associate myself with people who want to be fake prophets in any form or fashion, not on social media, not in the church, not in the gym. This brother tells it like it is. Speak on it, B.A.
Bro, I mean, like, it makes the movie worse. Like, not only is it useless, it creates plot holes. Because where the hell, what's it doing? Henry Lennox? Where the hell was he in Man of Steel? He was against Zod. He was in the unless he's a copy. Where was you versus Doomsday? And
that's what I want to know, B. Avery. He was in Man of Steel as the detective, because you remember Amy Adams gave him that flash drive or whatever, and then he gave her the information back.
But I'm saying, why didn't he help out? If they trying to change the world, he should have transformed to his alien self and flew over there and helped. They finna I forgot what the name of the machines were, but you know what I'm talking about. Y'all seen that? He should have, if he was in the movie then, he should have went and helped. So that don't make no sense. Exactly. And then he should have helped versus Doomsday. He should have helped in this movie.
I was about thank you.
He's gonna pop up. You know, I know the world was at stake 3 times, but next time I got you.
Right.
Come on, man.
What kind of homeboy hookup is that? Larry, talk about
hold on real quick. I'm sorry, real quick. And then Ben Affleck, Batman's response, like, oh, hey, how you doing? Who are you? Oh, okay, well, nice to meet you. You know?
This is B. Avery. This is Batman. This is Batman supposed to be meeting. Y'all know Batman is a dark character. Batman don't never crack no smile for nothing. And you just up there about to invite the man in for, you know, some drinks on the rocks and shit. What? Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
God.
That was that. They need to cut that out.
Yeah. And see, that's some of the stuff we saying they could have cut. Larry, give us your opinion.
I feel what you guys are saying, but I was happy to see him.
Oh, God. Oh,
man, he was cool.
I was just happy to see him, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him if we get to see him again. I totally get what you're saying. I don't understand why somebody hasn't given Batman a lantern ring. I mean, the dude, has he not proven that he's worthy?
No.
You know?
Batman is messed up in the head.
Yeah, Batman got
messed up in the head a little bit, but he's not any more messed up in the head than everybody else.
No, Batman has serious mental issues. He admits it.
I mean, now, Larry, he has the will. I would say his will is stronger than the Lanterns, but those issues he's got with his parents and the Joker, they probably wouldn't give him a ring, Larry. The ring would never pick Batman. Now, he's got the will. Don't get me wrong. Ain't nobody got a stronger will. But that's not all that the ring looks for when it finds a new host. So,
right. Well,
man.
I still was happy to see Martian Manhunter in there, and I'm looking forward to it. I get what you guys are saying wholeheartedly, but sometimes you just have a visceral reaction, and I was happy to see it.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad to see a Martian Manhunter movie. Just a straight solo dedicated movie.
I'm down.
We all down. Great. Who's not? I mean, and like B. Avery said, when you talk about plot holes that they've got to. I mean, they can still play this one out though. B. Avery, they still can play this out if they decide to do it. The anti-life equation being on Earth. In the DC comics, it's not on Earth. It's in space somewhere. But the anti-life equation being on Earth, they can still take that and use it. But
go back to that again.
I got a question too.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead, Larry. You first.
I was just looking at. I'll tell you, for whatever reason, I was looking at all the other patterns. I never really realized that there was that Omega symbol right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right in the middle.
Yeah, that's my question.
I never saw that through all these years. I never saw that.
When did the Omega symbol mean the anti-life equation?
It doesn't. It's all the stuff underneath it. In the comic books, the Omega symbol has never meant anything to do with the anti-life equation.
Yeah,
never. You know, I mean, for Darkseid, that's his story of chasing the Infinity Stones. From all my people that follow Marvel but that don't follow DC, that is his coup de grace to get rid of most of life in the universe, and he controls them.
Let me ask you this, Lamont, real quick.
Go for it.
Is there a way, or is there anything outside of the source wall?
Behind the source wall is where you're supposed to get the anti-life equation from.
Okay.
That's where that originates in the comics, deep in space behind the source wall. But there's some other goodies in there too. He had this one contraption, man, that he got, and he threw on Superman that he got from behind that wall, B. Avery. He threw it on Superman. It wraps around his body like a rope. And the more Superman struggle, the more it amplifies the deepest pain he can have in his body. Picture that. Could you imagine if we could go get something, wrap it around you like Wonder Woman's lasso, and the more you struggle, the more you feel the deepest, darkest pain you could ever imagine feeling. I mean, man, talk about balls is splitting. I don't want no parts of that. So here's the latest on what's going on with the Snyderverse that we're not going to get. Zack Snyder's Justice League, known to fans as the Snyder Cut, is streaming out on HBO Max and other services around the world, and ends with quite major sequel setup for a huge upcoming battle. As many viewers may end the film very excited for a Justice League 2, in which Batman, played by Ben Affleck, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, and company fight against Apokolips' big bad Darkseid. Okay. However, there are currently no plans for any sequel to the HBO Max version of Justice League. This was confirmed by Snyder himself on the I Minutemen podcast, in which the director said, "The reality is, as far as I know, there's no interest / or appetite to do more of these movies from Warner Brothers with me anyway." B. Avery, talk to me.
I mean, it's very disappointing. I also checked out the interview that Ann Sarnoff, the CEO at Warner Media, was talking about, and that they have their plan mapped out and stuff. Well, this is what people want right here. You know, if Zack Snyder never even stepped away, if he didn't have the passing in his family, right now we would be talking about Justice League 2. Yeah, we're in 2021, so it would either be coming out or coming out in the next year or two. I mean, why would you not? I mean, look, the original Justice, the story did not change for the most part from the 2017. It's just the execution. So if you have a man that's proven himself that he can't execute, let him do it again and again on part 2 and part 3. It don't make sense. If this is what people are clamoring for, saying, okay, if you give me this, I will give you my money, I will subscribe to your app. Why would you do the opposite of that? Why would you? I mean, it's a coin flip with Warner Brothers and DC. I'm not going to say all their films suck. Some of them are damn good. Some of them are sorry as hell. So it's a coin flip. You don't have no track record like Marvel. So in this case, I don't mind you being reactionary, and specifically being reactionary to the fans, saying that they love this wholeheartedly. It's not like Zack Snyder saying, I want to come in and control the whole DCEU.
Right.
No, that would be ridiculous. I'm just saying, let him do the Justice League movies.
Exactly.
Have you a Cyborg movie, like Lamont said. I mean, not Lamont, Larry said, have you a Martian Manhunter movie. You can have you a Green Lantern show on HBO Max and some Green Lantern movies. Because Green Lantern, that story is big as hell.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's shit. It's huge. And
do a show about Atlantis. You have to do Aquaman specifically. Do Atlantis.
You know what I'm saying? Do that.
And the story in the movie, Darkseid. Well, in one of the comic animations, Darkseid goes to Oa, where the Green Lanterns originate, and he decimates the place. There is rich comic book history where Green Lanterns are fighting Darkseid and also getting into battles with the New Gods, which are basically the people that usually fight Darkseid, that raise Darkseid. I mean, you could do, because they got a New God story coming out with what's her name is directing to be Avery.
Oh man,
Ava DuVernay.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that. But.
Yeah, nah, man, I don't know. Look, I'm gonna give her a chance. I'm gonna see what she's gonna do. But New Gods, like I said, touches a whole lot of stuff, Larry. It touches Green Lanterns. Think of New Gods as kind of like DC's version of Eternals, except for one of their issues is they exchange one of their kids for one of Darkseid's kids. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You had to look the rest of it up on your own. But Larry, what do you think about Zack Snyder not being able to get this second Justice League?
I mean, that kind of sucks. The only thing that I can think of that may be good coming out of this is maybe he heads over to the MCU. I mean, maybe we get a Zack Snyder directing something. I don't know on the MCU. I don't know what movie they would throw at him, or he might want to.
The Inhumans.
There you go. That could be great.
Look, B. Avery, they need to make up for that mess they gave us on ABC. Larry, if you've never seen it, Larry, don't even waste your time.
I would love for him to take all those Marvel characters that they had on Netflix, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, all of them, and make a movie. Make a really dope, gritty ass movie. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to subscribe to everybody's channel that's sitting here. Links are in the video description. You get the best opinions. You get the best information. You get it all from these good brothers on this show. And fellas, it's time for the rapid end because I got about 3 more minutes. So I want to run down 3 quick stories and get your fast opinion.
I want to ask you guys one question.
Go for it.
What do you think about another cut of Wonder Woman 1984? What if they decided they were going to bring someone else in to make a new cut, someone like Catherine Bigelow or something?
I'm not tripping.
Yeah,
because I feel like she can make a gritty hardcore movie. We saw she did it with the Hurt Locker. That was dope. And I wonder if she can come in there and take this sort of softball that they threw at us and really make it a dope Wonder Woman movie.
Yep, could happen. Ladies and gentlemen, in Marvel news, me and Larry sat here and we told the real movie reviewers. We told. Let me show the face of one of the real movie reviewers. We sat here and we
Brandon,
told.
lead it off. He didn't even want to hear it.
We told Brandon Keith Avery. We told E-Man, his real name is Emmanuel Noset. We told them that this movie, not only did it need to come to the Disney Plus show, but it would be coming, and they needed to charge $19.99. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on July 9th, this will be coming to Disney Plus, but not at the $19.99 I said they should charge. They're going to try to hit y'all in the head for $30. Mr. Brandon. Speak on it, Brandon. Get close to that mic that makes you sound like you sexier than Barry White. And tell us, why do you oppose this?
I'm disappointed as hell, man.
God.
First of all, look. I don't understand why they did both. They moved the date and they're going to put it on Disney Plus. I thought it was going to be either or. Because I was thinking, I was like, okay, it's going to be in theaters because that's where it's going to make the most money. But, you know, I don't think that the pandemic will be safe, you know, in May. So it just makes sense to just push it out 2 more months. It'll be in theaters. It'll do good. So, but they did that and put it on Disney Plus. I don't understand. If you're going to put it on Disney Plus, why move the movie? Why don't you just keep it in May?
Because I think what they're trying to do, they do want to get theater revenue, B. Avery, and they are trying to play it safe. Just like you're saying, Disney heeds the warning for the most part of the pandemic, and they want to push it back as far as they can so that they can also get that theater revenue, because honestly, it's cheaper to go to the movie theater than it will be to watch it on Disney Plus.
That's the thing that bothers me.
Unless you have a whole family watching, then it's cheaper to watch it on Disney
I
Plus.
was really looking forward to just seeing how much money it will make at the box office. The first big movie after the pandemic, to see if people will rush out with it being part of a large tentpole franchise. You know, is Black Widow worthy of making $1 billion? I didn't think Captain Marvel was, but it did. There's no reason why Black Widow wouldn't be able to make $1 billion either. I mean, it's a more popular character, in my opinion. So we're just not going to be able to see that. It's going to be very difficult to measure how successful it is because, you know, it's in uncharted territory as far as the numbers is concerned. So, as long as we get to see it, I'm fine. But I'm disappointed because I wanted it to go only to theaters.
Larry, take your victory lap, my brother, because we are prophets in this game, Larry. We keep telling these people, but nobody listens to us until it's too late.
I will say this, man. I think that this movie, if they put it in the theaters right now, would not do that well because I think that the demographic for these female-led superhero movies is different from the male-led superhero movies. I feel like these female-led superhero movies are going to have a lot more young girls going to the movies, whereas the other superhero movies will have boys and men. I think women only in large part go to see those movies when they're taking younger kids with them.
It don't matter though.
Huh?
It don't matter though.
It does matter because I don't think that most parents are going to send their their 11 to 15-year-old daughters out to the movies in the middle of a pandemic, they're simply going to say, no, I don't think so. Maybe we can watch it at home, but you're not going to the movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I just don't think this movie is going to do that well in the theaters. And honestly, what Disney should have done is taken this as an opportunity to really ramp up their subscriptions and beat their earnings projections for the next quarter, where they simply could have just said, hey, if you already have Disney Plus, you're going to get this movie for free. And if you don't have Disney Plus and you subscribe and pay to get the movie, you're going to get 2 months of service for free, including the movie. So you're not signed up, pay $19.99 to get the movie, and it comes with 2 months worth of Disney Plus. That means you get them in there for a full 2 months. It gives them an opportunity to put out a couple more movies to keep those people locked into Disney.
No, I knew that is a horrible idea.
I was in the last shareholders meeting. I knew they weren't going to do that. That's why I was lobbying for $19. I knew they was going to charge, but I want them to charge something that would be a sweeter spot than what they charge for Milan. And in that shareholders meeting, they kept hinting around $20. It'll be around $20, and bam, now it's $30. But anyway,
I'm starting to wonder if the movie's any good. I just feel like all these movies they keep pushing back, they're pushing them back because they're just mediocre. And they keep thinking like, oh, well, we should probably put it out there sooner than later because it's really just not that great. That's what I'm thinking that's happening with a lot of these movies. All these movies that I've seen that people are saying, oh, well, we're waiting. There's a few exceptions. I mean, like Judas and the Black Messiah is probably the one exception I've seen. The rest of them that I've seen that have come out have been pretty much just mediocre.
Larry,
I'm not sure this movie's going to be great.
Larry, first of all, half of the theaters across the country weren't even open. And then the ones that are open, you only having at 25-30% capacity. It wouldn't make sense to release it. You're not going to make any bread.
I hear you, but I feel like the movies that are really great, the ones the studios know are great, they're just simply saying, nah, we'll just hold it. We'll just wait.
Look at Tenet. That was really great. It didn't make no money.
I didn't hear people talking about Tenet and with glowing stuff. I heard people talk about Tenet. They were saying, it was decent. It was okay. They were like, I was hoping for something better. And people were saying that, that the movie was sort of unfollowable. And I heard a lot of really mixed reviews about Tenet. It was not like Inception where it was universally, adored.
I'll give you that. So every movie in the past year that had a planned theatrical release, and just say 14 months, was bad. I doubt it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. The ones that I've seen where they basically said, we're going to put them straight on streaming. Those are the ones that have just been mediocre that I've seen. I feel like some of the other ones that are probably really good where their studios are just basically holding them and saying, nah, we'll just wait it out. I fully expect that the new James Bond movie is going to be dope. Like people were trying to get that movie. They were like, no, you're going to have to give us like 600 mil. People were like, no. And they were basically, MGM just said, cool, we'll wait. The movie's dope. We'll just wait. It's going to do great in the theaters. So we'll just wait it out. And I think they know when they have a good movie on their hands, and they know when they have just a mediocre to a turd. So, it's like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a straight turd.
Okay,
they knew that movie was a turd.
Okay, we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if Black Widow is going to be like that. Oh my God, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy.
Bring it on, E-Man. Bring it on.
I need to chime in. I can't let Larry get this much shine. By the way,
you know what I'm saying? Come on, E-Man. He talking ludicrous over here, bro.
Look, E-Man, my brother, I appreciate you, and this is for you, my brother. This is for you,
Anthony. Give me a boy's name that starts with the letter H.
Jose.
Jose with an H.
E-Man, I done that just for Larry for you, my brother. But we about to get out of here, E-Man. We'll catch up with you later, my brother. Fellas, anytime we can get together to talk comics, talk movies, it always brightens my day. Thank you to all the audience that came through the super chat with us. Be sure to check my video description link, my related channels, to check out E-Man's movie reviews. Check out Just My Opinion with my brother B. Avery, and check out my brother Larry for all the tech news. We will be back tomorrow night to review this next episode of SnowFall. Then we'll be back Friday night, and who knows, we might have E-Man, Sharonda, and Brandon up here to talk about this next coming episode of Falcon Winter Soldier. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, stay sexy as hell and mask up.
Mask up.
Mask up.
Mask up.